Well, welcome to another episode of Cooking in the Community Kitchen. We are so glad that you joined us for our Easter presentation and program. And we just hope when you think about Easter and eggs, maybe you'll think just about this and how you want to revisit our video. Today we are going to make vegetable quiche. And a lot of people are seeming to move to Meatless Monday. And so this is maybe just a good way of getting our protein. Each egg has 5 grams of protein in it, as well as each egg has 9 amino acids. So we know that this is a good healthy way of just adding some interesting things to our diet, and then as well as utilizing our good food box. So I'm going to get right at it because these do take a little while to cook. And so I hope that you will just join along and see what we're up to. So in my pan here, I have a small onion that is all diced up. I've got 1.5 cups of grated zucchini, and then I have 1 cup of peppers. And these items will all be then featured in the Good Food Box in our next 3 weeks. So it is very important at the kitchen that we both feed and educate. And so that is the purpose of these videos, is to educate people about what's in the Good Food Box and the possibilities of what we can do with these great items. And we'll be having some fruit from the Good Food Box as well, but we're gonna start with then the vegetable quiche. So I also love to do things where it's easy. You'll notice I'm beating in my measuring cup because then this is also great for pouring. And as I do this, I want to give a big shout out to Sparks Eggs. They are one of our donors to both our Spins Around program and as well as our Tummy Tamer program in the summer. And so we just couldn't survive without incredible partners. So we are very, very grateful. And we, like I say, we want to support locals. And I think if you're in that part of the grocery store and you're going to choose some eggs, why not choose Sparks, right? So there we go, Sparks Eggs. And to my eggs, I'm going to add 1 cup of 10%, and so like cereal cream, because it's going to make it just that little bit richer. And of course, if you have watched any of our videos before, you know that there's lots of wiggle room, that if you don't have 10%, not expected to go and purchase that, but that is ideal to have the 10%. And then I'm going to add just 1/4 of a teaspoon of the dry mustard. And there too, if you don't have dry mustard, the regular French's or whatever, the liquid mustard is not going to take away from it as well. So we're just going to beat this up quickly. There we go. So these vegetables have been in the pan for probably about 10 or 12 minutes. Really, the idea is just to sweat it off so there isn't the extra moisture in our quiche pans. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to these. And I like to give credit where I get recipes from. And this one is probably as old as I am, from the Better Homes and Gardens. I love these cookbooks. And in this recipe, it also asked for a sprinkle of mace. Now, I do have mace in my house, but I noticed in the grocery store yesterday that there wasn't mace on the aisle. So again, if you don't have mace, absolutely don't go and purchase that. The salt and pepper will do just lovely. So I think that these are looking really good. Of course, we always want to taste before we season. And I think you will agree that that does taste really good. So then our second step in making these quiches is to use either a frozen pie shell, the 9-inch. The deep ones work really well because then we've got lots of room for our filling and then our cheese, etc. And, but today, I think I am going to do just the individual tarts. I find that perhaps we're still in that maybe COVID state of mind where people do like to eat individual. So I'm going to just put these out. And you notice that I have used actually just my broiler pan that is perforated. And why I do that is that I really do like to know that the quiches are cooked on the bottom as well. And I think that just gives us that extra little great cooking time, as well as we know that they're going to be cooked. Nobody wants to eat something where it's all mushy on the bottom. And this will vary in size of how many you're going to make in this recipe. Normally it makes 24, but these are a little bit on the smaller side, but not a problem. And I tend to also shop the no name brand, and I think that they are just as good as spending the extra money. Because we're all about, right, we're all about saving money, trying to be cost effective, and I think that that's so important. So there you go. So we have our little tarts there. And then I'm going to just add a little mixture of my vegetables into each little container. So again, this recipe using the 3 eggs will make 24 small or one of the 9-inch big tart shells. I like to eat gluten-free as much as I possibly can, but it was impossible to find gluten-free these little tart shells, so we're just going with the regular ones today. Lots of gluten-free, the large pie shells, but unfortunately not these little ones. So I'm putting probably a good teaspoon or so into each one. We want to leave lots of room for that beautiful cheese, right? And I am probably a little bit anal. I'm making sure that there are a little bit of the red peppers on the top, because I feel that that is also going to look pleasing to the eye once these are cooked, to have that little bit of color. And I just don't know what also says Easter, more like eggs, right? It's just such a natural fit. So we'll just divide our mixture up. If some have perhaps a little bit more, a little bit less, I don't think it's necessary to go back and try to adjust. I think we'll just spread the love around here as much as we can in our mixture. I think this is a perfect chance for Meatless Monday, great lunch, even as we get into Easter brunch, Good Friday, whatever. It is a wonderful make ahead, and these also freeze amazingly well. So that is also nice when we talk about making things ahead so that we can really relax and enjoy our guests. It to me is the importance of entertaining, is to be able to enjoy my guests. So we're going to scrape out just this last little bites. We've got happy little tarts here, I think. And even if I'm not at home, I'm just going to use my fingers here to scrape away this. This is how we do it. And then I'm going to add some cheese to the top. So I have used a combination of both Swiss and then the Gruyere. And the Gruyere, I'm going to just chop off the rind. I'm certainly not going to throw those little bits away, because it is just absolutely wonderful as we make soup. So we're going to add just a little bit here of the Gruyere to create about 1.5 cups, please, of cheese to go on here. So there we go. We've got a combination of the Gruyere and the Swiss, and I think it's looking pretty good. I'm going to just toss those two together, and then I'm going to just add a little top of each one onto here. I think you will all agree with me that the past 2 years have been filled with many challenges, and never before have we seen so many Calgarians, 1 in 10, face the tough decision between paying rent or purchasing groceries. The Community Kitchen has provided the Good Food Box program for 20 plus years, and this program offers boxes of fresh fruits and vegetables at affordable pricing, up to 50% less than the retail. Plus, you are supporting local, our non-for-profit community kitchen, as well as our produce wholesalers. Please take a moment to check out our website, ckpcalgary.ca, to order your Good Food Box from a depot close to your home or your work. And for further information on the Community Kitchen, please give us a call. Together, we can reduce hunger in our city. From our CKP family to you and yours, thank you for your support. And these need to be baked just in a slow oven. 325 is the temperature. It's always recommended to preheat your oven. And also, each oven is going to be just that little bit unique. My oven at home tends to bake a little faster and hotter than the ovens here at the kitchen, but I think it's just adjust accordingly, have a little look, and see where they're at. But it does take a little while to cook these, and they really, it can't be rushed. That 325 seems to be just the perfect temperature. And so again, why I said I love this picture is that maybe I'll give these eggs one more little beat. But then I can fill my quiche right from my measuring cup. And so these as well are going to take just a little tiny bit. We want them basically half full, or just to kind of the underside of your pastry so that you know that the egg is there, but not to overflow. So I hope that this will look appetizing. When I can see I did miss cheese on one, so I'm just going to fill it up with the egg anyways. Yes, and don't panic as you get down this far. It looks like you're not going to have enough mixture, but it will spread and do 24. All right, well, that's perfect. So I'm going to just pop these in the oven then at the 325 for 45 minutes. So I think that we have our quiche now on these very cute little rabbit plates. And as a side, obviously it can be served with a salad or what's your favorite. But I decided to use, again, from the Good Food Box, the beautiful fresh fruit. And this week we have pears and oranges and apples and grapes. So I'm going to just quickly put a little bit of fruit salad out, and so that we've got a really nice balance of flavors. And I think then we are good to be all ready to celebrate Easter with our guests. Well, maybe we lift our bowl of fruit and say Happy Easter. Well, and who doesn't like something with eggs for dessert? One of my all-time favorites is creme brulee, but my second is pavlova. And really, pavlova is just fancy meringue, so that is what we're going to do. So in prep to make this dessert, I have just taken a piece of parchment paper, put it on my cookie sheet. I have taken a glass, and then I've made circles so that I have a little bit of an idea about the size. And obviously, you could make just one big one or even smaller, whatever works for you. So I'm going to just beat the egg whites. I have 3 egg whites, and they are at room temperature because they will fluff up and be much lovelier and lighter when they start at room temperature. So at this point, I can see that I do have some soft peaks forming, and so that's good. So I'm going to add my 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar. And then I'm going to also add a teaspoon of vanilla. And for these, I do prefer the white vanilla if possible. And then we'll just carry on here. I know some of you are wondering just how much sugar I am putting in here, and with my very quiet voice, I'm going to tell you it is 1 cup, but it's going to be spread around 12. Well, I think we're there. We talk about that we have made recipes for our gluten-free friends. Today we did a vegetarian dish, and I would have to say that you'll have to read the recipe to see how much sugar is in these, that perhaps it isn't a really good suggestion for our diabetic friends, but we're going to spread it among all of these, and hopefully all will be well. So we'll give it one more quick go. And we are ready to do this. So again, got my circles on my page, and we're just going to add some of this beautiful meringue into the circle. And it can be about probably close to even 1 inch high. And I think it's one of those things where your mother said to color in between the circles. Well, this is going to be, try to get these within the circles so that they'll be nice and round. And these are going to be baked in again, a very slow oven at 275 degrees for approximately 1 hour. And then without peaking, and I know it's really hard to do that, you want to keep the oven door closed, shut off the heat, and then these should sit for at least 4 to 6 hours, but I usually just do it later in the day and leave them rest in the oven overnight so that for sure that your meringues are really, really nice and dry. So we have our lovely little meringues set out. I did use medium eggs instead of the large, so you can see that I don't quite have my dozen. But we're not going to worry about that. We're going to pop them in the oven again for about 1 hour. And then again, the key is to shut the oven off, don't peak, and to leave them just dry out between 4 and 6 hours. These also keep so well. They need to be stored in a cool, dry place, just maybe a box or a bowl with a tea towel over, and they are good for several months actually. So anyway, enjoy. So we will then just plate this up for Easter. We've got, again, a nice plate. We've got our pavlova. We'll add a little bit of whipping cream. And I guess if you're our CEO, then it's maybe that extra little spoon of whipping cream, and some fresh cut strawberries that are also part of our good food box for the next few weeks. And so I think what this says is bon appetit and happy Easter. From our CKP family to you and yours, we wish you a happy Easter. We also want to just give a big shout out to both the Calgary Foundation, the City of Calgary, and H&W Produce for giving us the fruits and vegetables used on this set, and to the Calgary Foundation and the City of Calgary for their financial support of the Good Food Box program. Again, we thank you so much for your time, your generosity, and we look forward to seeing you next month as we cook again in the community kitchen. Take care. Happy Easter to all.
Hi, I'm Sunday Nordine, CEO of Community Kitchen. Thank you for watching this episode of Cooking in the Community Kitchen. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss a recipe. And if you'd like to learn more about our programs or would like to make a donation, please visit us at ckpcalgary.ca.